Yo, what's up, everyone? This we're looking at the Saturday slate. We have a 7 game slate for tonight. It's definitely gonna be a fun one. With looks like Russell Westbrook's gonna be resting, and then Kawhi is probably gonna be resting on a back-to-back. So seems like it's gonna be a stars and scrubs approach tonight. So let's get into it. You can drop a like down below and subscribe if you have not already. Starting off here at point guard, I mean Harden is at 12-9. It's a back-to-back, but without Westbrook, his rates go through the roof this year. He's been unconscious shooting the basketball. He's made 20 of his last 33 three-pointers, shooting 30 plus times a game, and both times were with Westbrook. Could see him shoot the ball 40 times tonight against the Pistons at home. So with the value that we have on the slate, it's going to be tough for me not to have Harden. Whenever Westbrook's out, just plug in Harden. Luka's at 12K. I mean, I definitely prefer Harden here. The matchup is a lot tougher for Luka. Only $900 cheaper than Harden. I would prefer Harden, but if you can find a way to get him in there with Harden, then I think that's fine. Oh, Lowry, 78. I mean, I'm not really interested in the mid-range today because I'm going to be doing a lot of stars and scrubs approach. We still have to wait on the status of the Clippers guys because if Williams, Beverly, and Kawhi are all out, then Paul George is going to be a great play. He's already a great play without Kawhi, but there's going to be some value plays that we can look at from the Clippers. Whoever starts, at point guard or coming off the bench. But the value play that I like is we saw Bledsoe leave the game with a shin injury. They're playing the Cavaliers on a back-to-back at home. I would expect Bledsoe to sit this one out, and that would make George Hill at 3,900 one of the better value plays on the night. When Bledsoe left the game, Hill came in, ended up playing 29 minutes. The game was pretty close for most of it against the Grizzlies. They did pull away at the end, but it was a competitive game, and Hill played 29 minutes, so expecting to play 30-plus minutes tonight if Bledsoe's on the shelf. Starting point guard, good assist opportunities playing with Giannis, and he's just a decent player all around at 3,900. Really nice price tag on him for the minutes that he should get today. At shooting guard, it's going to be James Harden for me. I already basically stated why. He's playing huge minutes, played 36 minutes. It was a blowout at the end. Could have played 38, 39 like he's been playing. This game happens to stay competitive. Harden should play a ton. And just the way he's going, he's a pretty streaky shooter. We saw earlier this year when he was struggling with a shot. That carried for a few games, and now he's been red hot from the floor. Hopefully he can stay hot for at least another night here against the Pistons. As small forward, definitely loving some Paul George tonight against Chicago. He played, it's a back-to-back for him. The last time they played a back-to-back, he played 36 minutes on the second half, but he only had to play 26 in the first half. So we could see his minutes go down a little bit tonight on the second half of back-to-back. But I don't know, they're just really thin on bodies right now. If Williams and Beverly are out again, I think if George is fine, then he can play his 34 to 35 minutes here if this game is close for most of it, and if they're missing all their guys, then it can stay close, I would expect. At only 8,300 for Paul George, really, really good value play. I mean, not a value play, really, really good stud option to pair with Harden or whoever you're paying up for. If I had to choose in the mid-range, it would, not really loving anybody here. We know Winslow's out again, and Dragic's out, so definitely not going to be touching Duncan Robinson at 5,700. That's too expensive. I'm looking down here, maybe Ben McLemore without Westbrook should start, and he's been pretty good at shooting the basketball this year, especially as of late, shooting three-pointers. So he could see a big chunk of minutes tonight. Chris Dunn is just not that good. Tim Hardaway would make a nice tournament play at 4,400. Harkless, I like him at 4,300. When Kawhi Leonard sat the other game, he played 35 minutes against the Pacers, and he's only 4,300, so he's going to be on my radar at that price point on Draftkings. So that's kind of what I'm considering as small forward, but it's going to be probably Paul George right now. Like I said, stars and scrubs tonight. Harden, George, both get huge bumps in production without their other co-star out there. Power forward, the price tag on Siakam is appealing at 7,900. The Wizards are down a lot of bodies, and now they're going to be missing Wagner. So that would make these guys interesting, like Hachimura and Bertans, but at these price points, you need 40 plus. I think he's still fine here. Like Hachimura would be my preferred guy. I would expect him to probably play most of the minutes as center, and at center will get a lot more rebounding opportunities over Bertans. Bertans been great, but that's because he's been making just such a high percentage of his shots. But I don't think any of those guys are core plays just because their prices are up there. But the other value play I think you can go to at power forward is like Tucker is interesting a lot with no Westbrook. Will continue to play heavy minutes. We'll see some more usage. Now it's not a high usage player, but more rebounding opportunities without Westbrook really crashing the glass. I mean, Capella's still there, so it's not like he's going to have to play center for most of the game, but just playing a lot of minutes against Detroit. They will need him to defend like Griffin, even though he's not been very good this year, Blake Griffin, but Tucker is their best defender, and really the only defender in the starting lineup. But power forward, I think, maybe House at 4,100, you can go there. Derek Jones Jr. is only 3,800. He is been playing quite a bit of minutes, at least 26 in 4 straight games, and he's been pretty productive. They are missing all the guys that they've been out the last 4 or 5 games are out again tonight. So Jones should see like 20 to 30 minutes off the bench here at only 3,800. Price tag came down after a 33-point outing. The matchup is not great against Dallas, but it's a lot better than it was against the Lakers, and he was productive. So, for value guys, it's kind of like you have to take a gamble on them sometimes. The matchups aren't super important for them. It's really just the minutes, and the minutes for Jones should be there, and the price point is really, really appealing. So I think he's going to be another one of my value plays. And then at center here, if you're going cheap, I like how PJ Tucker is center eligible. So 4,700 for Tucker. Think that is, just fits in with what I'm trying to do, stars and scrubs. Here, I want to get both of Harden and George in there. Tucker at 4,700. Like the price point on him. He does have some upside. Because if he has a good rebounding game, if he can get a double-double here, that's some nice production, and always a great defender for the blocks and steals. Not really blocks, but steals at least. And then last but not least, at guard here, I am really liking like Jamal Murray at 5,900. Think that is a tremendous price point. Really getting a nice value on Jamal Murray because he's also really cheap, and he can have those games where he puts up 40 to 50 fantasy points if his shot is falling. Here against the Thunder is at home. The Nuggets always play better at home, and they have in basically every year, like in the years past, they've always played a lot better at home. And at 5,900, this is the cheapest price point we're probably ever going to get for Jamal Murray. Here, he played 28 minutes. Monty Morris did play well in that game, so he saw a little less minutes, and also the game got out of hand late. But you're really going to get 33 to 34 minutes out of him on a nightly basis. Can get up to 36, 37 if he's playing really well. Just feel like 59 is really, really cheap for him. So that's the Draftkings look. Let's go to Fanduel now. Starting off here at point guard on Fanduel, it's Luka is pretty appealing at 12K, but with Harden there, George is a lot more expensive on Fanduel, so you could go to Luka if you want, but I'm going to go to George Hill again here. George Hill is cheap on Fanduel as well, 3,700. Expect him to start in place of Bledsoe. Like I said, I expect him to sit out after leaving the game with a shin injury. If he happens to play in this one, then I won't be interested in Hill that much. I think you can still play him, but it doesn't become a slam dunk play. And then Kendrick Nunn here at the 5,100. He's going to have to play quite a bit. He's played 35 to 40 plus minutes the last 3 games, and after having a stretch of games where he was really bad shooting the basketball, he's starting to come alive the last 2 games, and the assist numbers are decent with him, but he's really kind of scoring dependent. But it's a spot where if he's going to get 30 minutes, 35 minutes again, then I feel pretty good that he'll be able to make value at least with all the injuries on the team. Shooting guard, it's going to be Harden. I mean, Bradley Beal's 10-7. I mean, Bradley Beal's a great player, but he should not be 10-7 the way he's been playing. He's just hasn't been able to score the ball that much. He's been fine, like, as a player, but not with his price tags, not for a 10-7 price tag. So I wouldn't even touch Bradley Beal tonight unless you're making a bunch of teams. But Harden at 12-4 is going to be the, as you see, starting point. He is the guy you want to start your lineups with without Westbrook in there tonight. Small forward here, George, 10-6 on Draftkings. I like him a lot more. I think on Fanduel you can still make value because if those other guys are out, he can still put up 60 fantasy points. But if this game does get out of hand, or if they do like to decide to limit his minutes a little bit on a second half of back-to-back, it'll make it a lot tougher for him to make value. So I still love Paul George. I don't think you can go wrong with Siakam, who is like $2,000 cheaper than George. He's going to get the huge minutes every night, basically going to play 38 minutes. So he's another guy. I am still kind of wait on, see if those other guys are out. I haven't decided who I want to pay out for yet. But the value play that I want to go to at small forward again is Derek Jones, just 4K in this range here at small forward. You're not getting much other appealing options. Below Troy Brown, there's Chetty Osmond, Finney Smith, and then just a bunch of scrubs. Definitely think Jones can put up 7-8x value just with the way he's been playing lately and the minutes that he's going to get. At power forward, another spot where I'm going to be probably paying down here. Maybe Hachimura on FanDuel is a little bit more appealing, similar price on DraftKings. 6,800, gonna get a lot of center minutes tonight. Should be able to get a lot of rebounds tonight. Tucker, 5,300, another guy that's in play for me on FanDuel. Would go Jeremy Grant. If Paul Millsap's out, I don't know if he's gonna play or not. I would assume that he probably will not play tonight, but then again, I have no idea. But if he's out, then you gotta love Jeremy Grant as a value play. And then at center, I'm looking at maybe Capella at 96. Pretty high price point for him, so if he's not a core play. But I'm kind of liking Capella for low ownership. Maybe Valanciunas, although he's let me down last night. The matchup is really, really good, though. The Wizards don't have any centers. And then maybe Marc Gasol as well at 5,800. Nobody's going to play him, but he's been good lately. He's been getting some all-around production, points, rebounds, assists, and the defensive stats have been there. So he could make value against Brooklyn, one of the worst teams in the league against centers. And then if you're a Jan Mahimi fan, you could play him at 44, but just know that you're probably not going to get 25-plus minutes. He's probably going to be capped at 25 minutes. So that's pretty much it for today. I think right now I'm kind of liking Hachimura here, 6,800. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You can drop a like if you enjoyed, and good luck tonight.